You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host, Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts, Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
You are listening to The Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, May 1st show. You can also listen to our podcast or our Facebook premiere show. I am Tina Mitchell, your host, flying solo today. We are here to help you build a strong financial blueprint 1 week and one show at a time. If you are hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. We are here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show today. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And now back in studio, we have Mary Maas of Dynamic Scrip. Who doesn't win right here on 1150 AM KKNW. So Mary, let's go ahead and start out sharing a little bit more about what is Dynamic Scrip.
Well, Tina, Dynamic Scrip was founded in 2013, and the two of the co-founders, Tim and Dave, they have a combined like 30 years experience in gift card and prepaid card business. And the next step, the next iteration of that is digital. It's mobile. And so for the last 4 years, we've had a mobile payment rewards app, kind of like a Samsung Pay or an Apple Pay, but it's got a rewards and a charity twist to it. So everything we do helps a nonprofit, and there are many facets to Dynamic, but today I kind of want to focus on how it helps businesses and how in turn they serve nonprofits.
And anytime that you can, and I know why I was mentioning, people that are just tuning in now will say, where am I? I'm going that I did a podcast. I was going with that in our earlier segment, and I got off track a little bit, but I did a podcast on the importance of businesses coming from a place of contribution. And once you can connect the importance of coming from contribution, that's where the monetize really happens. And that's really why I wanted to have you here and sharing about that, Mary. So let's talk a little bit more about the importance for businesses with what you do.
Let me just add a little bit, because your listeners are probably going, tell me a little more about what they actually do at this point. I wanted to just say there are a few hundred businesses out there, a few hundred brands that we shop at all the time. You know, Amazon and Walmart and Starbucks and Home Depot, Best Buy, hotels.com, Cheesecake Factory, hundreds like that. And what you do is their app user gets the best deal they can, either online or inline. And then for paying with the app, they actually get another 2% to 15% cash back instantly. And a portion of that goes to support a nonprofit. And businesses can typically pick up to about 5 nonprofits they'd like to support. And it's supported through the purchases of their clients and employees on the app.
So can you share a little bit more about how that's helping the nonprofit organizations?
The nonprofits or the businesses? You were asking me about one or the other. Which one did you want to talk about first, Tina?
You go ahead and just share which one you want to talk about first.
I love to talk about both, but let's start with the
Go ahead and talk about both of them.
Thank you so much. With the businesses, there are so many ways it helps them, but I think the first and foremost is with employee and customer retention. It's such a big deal for businesses. Most of them don't even realize. A few quick stats on that. SHROOM, it's not mushroom, it's the Society for Human Resource Management, the gurus of HR. They say that to replace one employee costs a business 50% to 250% of their annual salary and benefits combined. So you've got an entry-level person making $35,000 salary benefits combined. It costs them 50% to turn that person over. And now I know your mind, Tina, is going to 35,000 and 50%. I mean, $17,500. It's a chunk of change. But on toward the other end of the scale, when you have a leadership or a tech type person that's making 125,000 salary benefits combined, glad you're probably sitting down, because it's a staggering 250%. to replace that person. I'll do that math. It's 312,500. It's huge for businesses.
Wow.
And then on the customer side of it, just another quick stat, customer retention. Harvard Business School says for every 5% increase in customer retention, a business can add 25% to 95% to profitability. What business will not love that?
Yes. And if you don't have the turnover in your employees, you're going to have better retention given with your clients, your
Right.
customers.
And we do have some predictive back-end analytics I won't get into that all works together to help with the retention.
And the nonprofit organization side.
Well, the way that a nonprofit is benefited is that they get fundraising. I mean, that is like the main thing, right? And just our basic package is going to help a nonprofit raise $1,000. And I mean, you can raise millions, right? It's very easily incorporated into however they do their fundraising now. And if they get a custom branded app themselves, they get $10 up front of every app. And then they also get purchases ongoing through the app, just as though it were purchased through a business. And so, you know, these donors are, it's
a lot.
huge because
And then
it goes on and on. It's sustainable is kind of what I want to say, Tina.
Absolutely. And then you say the businesses get to choose their nonprofit organizations.
Yes, they do, up to 5. And you know, there are other benefits for businesses too. They're rewarding customers, and this is key, with leverage. They're using other people's money. You know, OPM can appreciate that in your biz, right? And for a small amount, they're generating, 10 times or more the rewards. And so it's like for 25 bucks, on average, their employees or their customers are going to get $300 to $500. Now, this is the money hour, Tina. If I said, Tina, give me 25 bucks, I'll give you 500. Would you say okay?
I think I would.
All day long and twice on weekends, right?
Exactly.
2,000% ROI. And then, you know, another benefit too is that customers feel valued. You know, they're using similar numbers that I just gave you for customers, but realize that this is money that your clients and your employees would never have if they didn't have your app, your custom branded app. And yes, it is your app. It's custom branded for a business. So, and just, you know, another big thing for corporations is that most of them would love to give more to charity, Tina, but they just can't. You know, they're in the business to make money, right? And so this helps them increase their corporate social responsibility, or basically corporate giving. And this is leverage too. It's also using the OPM. So that same 25 bucks that's already in their HR or marketing budget that gives their clients that 300 to 500 back, they're also getting probably about another 100 they're giving to charity just through the purchases through the app that their employees and clients are making. So
pretty powerful stuff for sure, Mary. So
I'm sorry, to make that real clear though, the major brands, where the money is coming from, you know, the major brands are giving more to charity, they're giving more to their customers, and they're looking to engender brand loyalty, you know. And I mean, if you're going to buy something that's on the app, why, you know, a brand that's on the app, why would you even buy anything else, right?
Yeah, and that's a key piece of it too. The brand loyalty is a really important part of it. Yeah. So what type of businesses, or do all businesses fit greatly in this model?
Well, you know, it's so versatile. It's wide open. But to give you a really great one, really great ones are membership organizations, you know, from credit unions to fitness or health or sports clubs to stores like REI, you know, or businesses like AAA. Yeah. But it is amazing for all sizes of businesses. And
So you're
Should I
saying
give you
even
an
for
example of a small, medium, large, maybe how it,
yeah, so if you're saying for a small business or a solo entrepreneur, it benefits them as well, not just big corporations.
Exactly. And, like for instance, on a solopreneur, we could take a mortgage broker. Let's take a realtor. A realtor, what determines if somebody is going to call a realtor when they're ready to buy or sell a house? It's whether they're top of mind. Okay. And there are literally 1 million realtors in the country, and they have to distinguish themselves. And so this is giving people something of real value, and it's donating to charity. And people want to deal with businesses that are philanthropic.
So I got to figure out why I'm not doing this yet. We need to have a conversation, Mary,
Yeah,
after the show. All
please.
right. So if someone wants to earn more money by helping nonprofits, they're able to do it through this avenue.
They can, nonprofit or for-profit businesses. And the best thing to do, I think, on that, if somebody's interested in another stream of income, not doing well, by doing good, the best thing is probably to check out my website. There's actually, I think it's about a 14-minute overview video on this. And that's at dynamicacademy.us/Mary Maas, and it's MARYMAAS, 2 A's, 1 S. And then if you're interested, after that to learn more, have a further conversation, please pick a convenient time on my calendar, which is calendly.com/Mary Maas, MAAS.
Wonderful. So Mary, can you, we've got a couple minutes left here, and I want to make sure that we talk about a couple other things. Can you share an example of how nonprofits raise funds with the app?
Well, sure. A couple of things, like take a school, a school with about 1,500 kids, let's say. The school programs are wonderful. They even help put a little bit more in teachers' pockets, so they're not so out of pocket as much. But 1,500 kids on this, it's typically a 5-year program on schools. They can tend to raise like $1.2 million, Tina. I mean, every school needs money. There's something that they don't have enough for athletics or for music or for whatever. Every school needs something, and 1.2 million can go a long way.
Definitely.
So another one, though, like in every neighborhood, in every neighborhood, there's a club like a YWCA or a swim club or something. They typically have 5,000 to 15,000 members. So if 1,000 get the app, that's 10,000 up front to the club. And then ongoing, the way the numbers work out, it can average something like 12,000 a month, so.
What a great product and service that you are offering. It's always a pleasure to have you here in studio, and excited to have you back. And anybody that's listening to the show, definitely reach out to the show. We'll get you connected with Mary. Also, she's left her information. So thank you so much, Mary. Really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you, Tina. It's a pleasure.